Chapter 2, Zero to Hero. Do you want to know how to go from zero to hero as an entrepreneur? So does everyone else. You are not alone when it comes to putting these puzzle pieces together. The truth is that most entrepreneurs are just happy to follow their dreams, going from somewhere to anywhere, as long as they get to do what they love. Most will eventually wear themselves out, lose loved ones, break hearts, and in the end, step off the entrepreneur roller coaster. Only an elite few will focus and break through. Here is a great formula for going from zero to hero in the plainest terms possible. It works in the 3 phases that has a rinse and repeat type of infinity circle that should never end. First is learning, then it's earning, and last is investing. Then repeat again and again. Learning is key. You must know something about the product or service that you want to sell. Sure, you could fake it till you make it a little, but ultimately, you should become somewhat of an expert in your industry. Mark Cuban is known for primarily only investing in things he understands or has an expertise in. I'm not necessarily talking about college either. There are lots of ways to learn about things. Online courses or just the internet in general could teach you a lot. Take a class or take a course that can add to your custom education. Even better, you can intern or be mentored by an expert. Learning means developing your talents, improving your skills, and looking for challenges that you can uniquely provide solutions for. Next comes earning money. When you provide a product or service for a competitive price with a unique selling proposition, the money will start to roll in. One thing entrepreneurs learn quickly is that making money is actually pretty easy. It's making big profits that can prove to be more difficult. An entrepreneur also should earn a credit history of paying debts on time over time. This proven ability can be priceless as a business grows and needs capital to keep getting bigger. Just as important might be earning venture capital by getting investors to see the potential in their ideas, innovations, and overall business motto. Earning more than you owe is paramount to growth. Saving is just as important. Capital can give you a cushion against tough times and is a huge benefit when opportunities present themselves. Just as important as my ability to earn as a kid was my ability to be able to save money. As a matter of fact, the only thing that impressed people more than how much money I made as a young person was how much I was able to save. Once you have more money than you owe, you could begin to invest. You want to invest in both yourself and your business. Entrepreneurs are typically good at wanting to invest in their business with all kinds of tech and toys, but they are typically bad at investing in themselves wisely and investing in their business intelligently. Take a look at the 2 diagrams. Notice that the first one is literally an infinity symbol, meaning it never ends. Remember, I recognized a way to make money selling vegetables. My friends were willing to show me how and give me everything I needed to do it well. I learned pretty quickly why selling vegetables worked and why people are willing to pay for the service. Don't forget, I didn't earn a lot of money, but I did save. My parents were impressed with both. This was important when it came time for me to get a wagon, which was a big investment in my business. Although I had most of the money, my parents had to be my venture capitalist, knowing I was a good credit risk. Only then was I able to make even more money than before. I started recognizing new opportunities, improved my skills to communicate more effectively, and eventually got a paper route. Next was a paper route, an especially designed bicycle with a basket that could hold 100 papers. Over and over again, I listened and learned. Over and over again, I made as much as I could, saving large amounts that I sometimes use to reinvest in myself. I use these very simple examples because being an entrepreneur doesn't have to be complicated. It's just that most entrepreneurs make it complicated. Unfortunately, what makes a lot of entrepreneurs great is also what makes them bad. The good news is they like doing a lot of different things, so they are always looking for new ways to do things. The bad news is they like doing lots of different things, so they aren't always very disciplined or focused and are always chasing the next shiny object. The good news is they are not afraid of risk, so they will take bold chances going for the gold. The bad news is they are not afraid of risk, so they take chances that really work out and they pay the price for it. You get the idea? Here are some warning signs that an entrepreneur has a long learning curve ahead of them. They think things like, 1. I want to work for myself so I can set my own hours. The truth is that a typical entrepreneur is going to work very long hours that may go from 4 a.m. to 12 a.m. You also work when clients want you to work or when the industry demands that you work in order to be competitive. 2. I just want to be my own boss. The truth is that an entrepreneur always has a boss, even if it's the clients and customers he or she sells to. We always have someone to answer to, and sometimes the be your own boss mentality stems from entrepreneur immaturity that must be overcome for real success. 3. I have $1 million idea. I don't believe there is any such thing as $1 million idea. I like to say dreaming is good and doing is better. You can build $1 million business, but the money isn't in the idea. The money is in the execution of that idea. Entrepreneurs who just want to be idea people are in for a rude awakening. Along my early journey, I also learned to play poker. Every Sunday, Mr. Hawkins and his friends would come into the paper route office to play a few rounds and would invite me to play with them. Almost every time I played, I lost my money. But by playing, I learned how to read people and make quick decisions based on situational awareness of the weak and strong points in others. This made the money I lost a well-spent investment in education that isn't taught in a classroom. Yes, I had to pay to learn. While working the paper route, there were alternate ways to make money. In addition to papers, we could sell subscriptions, making $3 for every subscription sold. There were also subscription contests. I once won a weekend at a dude ranch in Wisconsin. But the biggest contest I entered was a bike contest. For every 8 subscriptions sold, you won a brand new bike. I gave that contest my all. My friend and I would deliver papers on Saturday mornings, and after we finished our deliveries, we'd start going door to door selling newspaper subscriptions. My friend would stop at around 10 o'clock because he was hungry, but not me. I'd keep going until I sold as many subscriptions as needed to earn that bike. Before I knew it, I had won 7 bikes and was number 1 in the city for selling the most subscriptions. I had no use for all the bikes I won, so each time I received one, I would sell it for $20. I continued to give the money to my mother for savings. While most of those years were dedicated to working with the paper at an early age, I became an advocate for multiple streams of income. I put in about 15 hours per week at Aronoff's hardware store on 82nd Street and Cottage Grove Avenue for 60 cents an hour. This job was a part of the Hirsch High School distributed education system, which was much like work study. I would leave school early to go work and receive class credit for graduation. Plus, I was paid an hourly wage. The owner always had me work in the attic. The thing about the attic was that you could not stand upright. The clearing was no more than 3.5 feet. I would literally spend hours hunched over and moving things around in that small crawl space.